All right. Hey, everybody. Dr. Chris, Pittsburgh Chiropractic and Wellness. I'm with all of you today. We tried to do a Facebook Live, but sometimes technology does not work in our favor. So we're taping it on Zoom. I'm with my good friend, Dr. Trichardt, and his wife, Melinda. And I wanted to collaborate with these two because we have offices in different parts of the country, but yet we have similar practices and models that we set up. They have a ton of knowledge. So for my patient base and for all of our active power thin and red light therapies, as well as our members of our Facebook page, I'm hoping you can get some content from this and hopefully vice versa. So Dr. G and Melinda, good to see you both.
Good to see you too. And whoever is under care of this great guy, very lucky. He's so dedicated, it blows my mind, especially what he's been through over the past few weeks. So
thank you. Yeah, I appreciate all that. So obviously everyone knows, because I'm coming from my page, that I'm in Pittsburgh. Where are you guys?
We are in Romeoville, Illinois, just outside Chicago, the Chicago suburbs.
Nice. So coming from Chicago land, I think that might be one of the only places in the country that maybe the winters are a little bit worse than they are in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, both of us Midwest boys, and our whole communities around us. You definitely know the cold.
They do. They do. So your background, Gareth, you come from a history of chiropractic, but then you dove in, much like myself, into weight loss. How come?
One of my friends begged me to get into learning about Chiropractic, and I resisted him, and he finally gave me a story of, hey, I'm 100 pounds overweight, I'm pre-diabetic, I've got heart issues, my points kill me, a lot of pain, and he's one of my best friends, so I reluctantly gave the Chiropractic company a call, and it's blown my mind since. And Melinda and I met shortly after we started that journey, and she's went to one of the Chiropractic forums and said that I'm quitting my job and starting in your office, whether you like it or not. To help out.
So within our organization, which we're a part of, I remember when the last forum, you won the award for it was Office of the Year, right?
Yes.
And I remember the acceptance. You're like, well, I kind of deserve this, but it's actually Melinda's award because she was putting in all the work, right? It's a smart man right there.
She's the brains and beauty behind the operation.
Yeah. I have the same thing with my health coach, Carrie. So it's fantastic. But I wanted to produce I wanted to give a bunch of content on an overall view of why maybe somebody's looking for weight loss, because there's so many misconceptions out there on. I mean, people can get certified and as a weight loss expert pretty much in a 3-day course online. Everybody can claim they're an expert, but yet not everyone has a safe approach, not just weight loss, but how weight loss can last long term and how it can really restore and bring your health back. And that's where I think your message is so cool, because neither one of us are selling diets as an answer. We're more selling lifestyle change and behavior modification, which is where I think this comes into play. So I think the first thing we probably want to dive into would be mindset. Why do you think a lot of folks seek us out, or if somebody's an awesome candidate for what we do and maybe somebody's not a good candidate for what we do?
Definitely. Mindset is definitely the important part of the whole mix. We have people of all streams of life coming in here, and they're going through divorce, or their kids are all grown up, and now they're finally wanting to care about themselves. But then we have a great handful of them that want to change, but they don't want to do the work to make the change. So it's just weeding that out very carefully, and letting them know that it's 6 weeks of a full commitment. It's a lifetime change. So.
Yep. And what I was going to say is, everybody seems to get started because of one of 3 reasons that we run across. It's you want to look good, or you want to feel good, or you've had a health scare. And that's what prompts a lot of people to jump in and do these programs. What I know, we've had discussions where we kind of bang our head against the wall, where people have all these health problems and they just feel like they can take a diabetic pill instead of doing, something to actually fix the problem. And so there's something that switch in the mind which finally happens where they do that. What we're trying to do, and I know you do as well, is try to, as we meet people, try to help them, guide them towards the proper mindset. so they can make that.
With the program in place, Melinda, you alluded to it. Time frame, 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
It's not it goes by really fast. And I think at the end of the day, to make a lifestyle change in 6 weeks, when we're talking some pretty big numbers that you can lose over that time frame, what's a typical weight loss look like over that period of time for you guys?
For our women, we're averaging anywhere from 23 pounds and up. We've got women that go into the 30-pound range, and our guys are upwards of 35, 40 pounds in 6 weeks.
Right. And obviously, we know all too well, Gareth, why the metabolism difference between guys and girls. And don't shoot the messenger, but unfortunately, we're just made up with a different set of hormones. So guys will ultimately, typically, more than likely lose it faster than females.
We don't have the mommy hormones like the ladies do, and also our metabolisms are just naturally a little bit higher.
Right.
And of course, why we get so excited about helping people out is, we do testing on people when they come in, and we find out that most people's metabolism is slow, and that's a big factor. When your metabolism is slow, your body thinks it's actually taking in more calories than it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
So part of this program is to get that metabolism flying high, get it going faster. When we retest them after 6 weeks with our testing stuff, we see the metabolism improve significantly. That's permanent stuff. So as long as you keep that metabolism flowing good, then that metabolism is going to stay high. And the problem with some of these other programs where you just intake calories, that's actually going to slow down the metabolism. So that's actually going to create the bounce back, the yo-yo thing that we all know all too well about.
Yeah, that the technology which we both have, the body composition analysis, which it looks like a scale, but it has a lot of science behind it. And that's something that I know we both have invested in as part of seeing if somebody is qualified or what the metabolism looks like. When you see somebody that has a slow metabolism, what are typically next steps?
Typically, people will ask me, why is my metabolism slowed down? And, there's a range of things. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, my stress is crazy. I only eat once a day. Like, well, that could be playing a role. Or my diet is liquid only. I'm drinking shakes and smoothies, and there's so many things that go into that pot. Slow metabolism. There's not just one thing. So just breaking that down is a big deal.
Big time. What we do is we then put them on the Trichardt program, and the first part of the program, 2 days, is to get their metabolism flying high. We have that, having people eat lots of calories while taking our metabolic program supplements.
Yeah, we start those loading days at the beginning of this thing, and that's one of the ways we spike up metabolism. Is you have to, in order to change, you've got to make changes. With the nutrition itself, Melinda, I know we were talking about this before we got on here, was the differences between what we do is not a diet, but more nutrition based. If you can allude to more some of what the nutrition looks like and the differences between maybe a diet where there's a bunch of shakes or supplements involved.
Well, when you eat natural foods that are just there, if you find the grocery store, they're going to be healthier for you. And we're having people eat lean meats, fruits, and vegetables, and then a certain type of bread that doesn't spike insulin. And that's stuff that feeds the body. When you start taking some of the artificial stuff, I do take protein shakes myself, don't get me wrong, supplement, but that stuff doesn't break down in the body as well as the stuff you find in the store, vegetables that have people do on this diet.
Yeah, even the best protein shakes, eventually, we know, but eventually they'll break down to sugar at some point, even the best of the best of the best. So that's one of the things I love about this is what you just talked about was it's real food. We're not throwing a bunch of shakes down your throat or supplements. It's actually showing you what to eat, how much to eat, and really cleaning up the diet. And
as you all know, and we have patients telling us all the time is, when all the recipes that are in our program, we have lots of recipes in our software, our patients. They're like, wow, I didn't realize eating healthy tasted so good.
Right. What do you mean? I can have steak? I mean, it's funny at the responses from people.
So they finish these 6 weeks. We talk about the coaching that we give and the accountability that comes in. with it and somewhat of an overall view of what the program looks like. Now, one of the reasons why we know that diets have an end in mind, usually folks, when they get off of a diet, they'll yo-yo that weight back on. What's the difference in what we're doing with our locking in phase?
There's two things you want to touch on.
Well, I think one of the main things is we're showing them how to eat. We're showing them how their bodies respond to real food. We're helping them at the end, with raising the portions, but retraining their minds to just have that healthier mindset.
Try to have it.
Choices.
Yep. And then at about 4 to 6 weeks, which push people through, so there's the 6 weeks of the losing where they lose the weight, and then in the maintenance part's about 4 to 6 weeks long. That's where we take that metabolic set point and we lock it in. So what a metabolic set point is like if you, for example, you weigh 200 pounds and you lost 30 pounds, metabolic set point's 200. If we don't change it to the new metabolic set point of 170, then your body's going to lose that 30, but just want to go back to that old metabolic set point. So if you don't lock in that new metabolic set point, then you're going to get that yo-yo effect. And that's a huge thing. And then changing the mindset, realizing that people start to notice too that they can have days where they go have fun and have some ice cream.
Yeah, you can get some of those vacation meals back at that point, but I think a lot of folks they think they're doing good, or they're trying really hard to do good, and they'll be on the Monday to Friday diet, and then the weekends come and they'll have their cheat meals on Saturday and Sunday, and they'll be doing this for a long period of time and say, hey, I've been doing this, I eat clean, but yet I'm not losing weight. How come? And it's because, like you just said, the weight was never locked in. You never lost it before, and that's why it's very hard if you're off meal plan a couple of days of the week, why you're not locking in that weight. That's a good point.
Definitely.
So, I know one of the other services we do in conjunction with weight loss, which a lot of our docs do, is that we combine therapies, and we use red light therapy. We call it lipo-like laser. There's various names for it. What are some things, and Melinda, I know you're the guru behind this program. If you can go into some of the science behind the red light and combining that service, and who's a candidate for that?
Definitely being hydrated, having the body detoxed. These lights, what they do is they actually release the fatty acids from the fat cells, increasing that inch loss, and you're excreting that fatty acid through your urine. So that's where the hydration level comes in. I've noticed myself that the toning and tightening along with the weight loss together, it's absolutely amazing. So many women are afraid when they do have weight to lose that they're going to have a bunch of loose skin. So just combining the two, it works like hand in glove.
What is the devices, if you can explain overall what it looks like, how long the treatments last?
Yes, our treatments are 10 minutes long. We have paddles on our system, and they're a little bit larger than a cell phone, and we can place them pretty much anywhere on the body parts, on the areas of the body that the patients are concerned about. A lot of my women are thighs and waistline and hips. I've got a couple women with the loose skin on the bicep area, so that's the awesome thing about the machines that we have, that we can access all of those parts in one treatment.
Yeah, multiple levels of the body, and the treatment time's short. He noticed, is there any side effects we have to worry about?
No side effects at all. I usually want my women to come in here when they're combining it with our weight loss 2 to 3 times a week. I think that just helps keep them accountable also. Just stays on top of the program, or to get them the progress that they want.
So there's 2 separate categories as well. We have someone who's maybe like that 10 pounds and under, is looking to tighten and tone, and then someone who's over that. The differences between the two, what would you recommend in regard to going either with weight loss first and light, or just doing the light by itself?
If they just have about 10 pounds to lose, or they're just more into the toning, I absolutely require my patients to come in 3 times a week. We do it every other day, and I have them keep a food journal. Nothing crazy, but I want to know what they're putting in their bodies, because I know the expectations of the system, and of course I want them to get the best result from it too, from coming in. So I actually have them. We have an app that comes with our system that I have them put on their phones, and it gives them tips and ideas, and there's an area for them to food journal.
Yeah, those people do the lights, and then people who have more weight to lose, you want them to have them do the Chiron program in combination with the maximum effect.
Typically, over the course of time, what are someone who's just doing the light, what do you typically see in regard to inch loss?
We're getting anywhere from 1/2 of an inch upwards of 3 inches per treatment typically. So usually when I do mine in 12 and 20 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So I have done 12 session treatments where my patients have lost anywhere between 8 and 10 inches, and they're down a couple pounds because they're changing their eating habits along with doing that. So
we had one woman came in just last week where she was debating whether or not she was going to do the program. So she just kind of tested the lights, and she just did the lights only and followed recommendations for eating. And she's like, wow, lost 5 pounds in 1 week. I'm just doing that one session, and a bunch of inches as well. I can't remember, especially she's, wants more health.
And you had a good point, Melinda, with where the nutrition comes into play, because the light works, but if the nutrition's a mess and you're bringing inflammation into the body consistently, and you're like a dog trying to catch its tail, it never is successful. So you're counterbalancing everything. So there's really you can't really cheat the system, right? If the diet's not good, it's not gonna be a home run.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I do make a point to let my patients know that my patients that come in 3 times a week, I measure them once a week. So as soon as I start seeing those results slow down, that's when I start breaking into their diet a little bit. Yeah,
and diving in that way. It's great. It's really good feedback as well. So a lot of times it's kind of just almost human nature. We want the most results with the least amount of effort. And this will allow us to you don't have to put the work in outside of just kind of coming in and laying on a table.
Right, exactly.
Right. So that was, hopefully all of you got a lot of content off of this. I know we hit on a couple different points. Anything you guys want to end with?
The most important thing in my eyes is, like we want to look good, we want to feel good, we want quick results. And that's what this program is all about, is and it's efficient. It's increasing metabolism instead of decreasing metabolism. It's when you lose, we're locking in that weight instead of having it bounce back. You talked about people can just go to a seminar and become a weight loss expert. One of my friends was kind of joking about that the other day, where he just read some material about it. Now he says that he's an expert. We've treated hundreds of people, and I know you've treated hundreds of people as well. And we keep learning, along the way, little tips how to make that more efficient. Our clinical skills now compared to, 3-4 years ago, I mean, it's off the charts different. Right. And I know you're in the same boat. So I highly recommend that your clients and ours as well ask advice, tips. If you're frustrated, if you're not unsure, keep asking questions, because we have got a lot of knowledge that we can share with you and dealt with. Don't be afraid to ask. That's what we would love to do. Is we want to help people get healthy, and we're passionate about it. So
it's nothing makes me happier than seeing them kind of high-fiving and really seeing someone who's sleeping better. They're off diabetes medications, hypertension meds. They're able to they have better self-image, and now they have a better relationship with their spouse because of all of that. And it's just an awesome takeaway. For those of you that are loving this video, comment on it, give it a like. And just because if you don't live in a Chicago area or the Pittsburgh area, doesn't necessarily mean we can't help you. We both have virtual programs. We work with people all over the country. So if you're in California or in Idaho or in a different part of the country watching this, just because you're not near us does not mean we cannot help you. So if this is, if you ever need either of our services, feel free to reach out. Both our contact information will be in the comment section. And I look forward to doing this again with you too.
Dr. Chris, it's always a pleasure to see you, and keep up that great passion and getting healthy, buddy.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Great seeing you both. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye now.